Alright, so I don't usually do this, but upon watching this video I thought that my response was probably too long to type out, so I went ahead and decided as an agnostic slash atheist, somewhere in that middle ground, that I would go ahead and answer some of these questions. This is of course all operating on the assumption that the guy who posted this actually wants the questions to be answered, which is still up in the air because I find that is often somewhat problematic to discover if he actually wants answers or if he's trying to make people look like they can't answer the question. So it's more to post it for him if he does want the answers, and if he doesn't, then people who see this will hopefully realize that those answers are out there and that he is not the final authority. So, question number 1. Excuse me. Aren't you using chance in the exact same way in which you accuse Christians of God of the gaps? A. Atheism and agnosticism do not have a set code of beliefs per se. In fact, their very nature defies a code of beliefs, and thus it is only fair to assume that not all atheists and or agnostics accuse Christians of anything. I myself don't, but to humor you, but let me elaborate on that a bit. There are a large number of people out there who don't really care what you believe, and I'm one of them. You can be a Christian, and that's fine with me, because that works for you. It doesn't work for me. The end. Back to the point. I'll entertain your point and answer the question that you asked, regardless of its obvious holes. No, chance and faith are not the same thing, especially when you add in what they really are. Scientific chance and religious faith are very, very different concepts. Scientific chance is based on looking at observable behaviors and occurrences and using that to deduct something. And when there are gaps in that deduction, you fill in those gaps with chance, meaning you take what you've seen, what you've observed about what's occurred, and you use that to say, well, since gravity has worked in so many instances, we can only assume that it also works on planets we haven't been to. It's the same thing. Faith, on the other hand, revolves off of very little observable proof, so much so that they've coined words for it, like miracle, when it actually does occur. So no. A, I'm not accusing you guys of anything. If you're a Christian, more power to you. And B, religious faith and scientific chance, totally dissimilar. Number 2. Why should there be something instead of nothing? I'm going to need a puff on this one. Again, huge holes in the question, point them out real quick, and then I'll entertain you. The question you are asking of a group of people who consider rational thought to be of the utmost importance. So why should there be something instead of nothing? I think that's a philosophical question, and if you're looking for the answer to that one, you might want to turn to your preacher instead of an atheist. So now that those holes are out of the way, I'll entertain you. Why should there be something instead of nothing? Who knows? Evolution versus creationism is not a fight about the origin of everything. I think that's where a lot of you people get mistaken. Evolution never claims where it all came from. It doesn't. Charles Darwin, even, in The Origin of Species, in the last paragraph, he talks about the creator. He even, to some degree, was a creationist, and even though Darwin's theories have been dismissed in large part, he laid the foundation and we ran with it. He wasn't completely right, and I don't think anybody out there says he is. Number 3, where do I get my morals from? From people like you. No, I get my morals from the fact that I don't want to go to jail, that it is beneficial to me as a human being to treat others in a certain way, And that's enough for me. I don't need any higher power bearing down on me with the weight of eternal damnation. I would like to just get by. And there's a system already in place from you people, I'll give you the credit for it, that allows me to just get by in this country. So that's where I get my morals from. Number 4, how did morals evolve? You suggested in your video, Puppy Time, that it was highly unlikely that man just developed morals because it goes in contradiction to their nature. I'm wrapping up. And yes, you're right. A lot of our system of morality is in direct contradiction to our nature. And that's why many people find religion so difficult, is because they're in direct contradiction to our nature. But I'll play with you on this one. I believe morals evolved pretty much the same way my morals evolved. Over time, the human race just realized that we worked better together. And this scavenger animal that we are works the best in social environments. And in social environments, you have to have a set of laws, or the system falls apart. That's it. What I'm suggesting is your system of morality evolved because it was the populace, and because it eventually had the most power swinging behind it. But I'm also suggesting that there are other countries that don't follow your system of morality. So you ask me, how did morals evolve? And I think what you're really trying to ask me is, how did my morals evolve? And I suggest that they evolved in the same way as everyone else's. Number 5. 55. Can nature generate complex organisms in the sense of originating it when previously there was none? Yes. Yes, it can. Yes, it has. Yes, it does. The list of examples to prove that are probably incredibly lengthy. What I will do is give you a little link here. You're going to want to go to, it's going to be a long link, but what I guess it's about a hour and a half-ish debate on evolutionism versus creationism, and it was done on December 19th, 1997, and a lot of top fields, both sides, or top scientists in their fields, both sides. Some great, excellent examples of complex organisms coming from, how did you term it? Complex organisms where previously there were none. So if you want examples of that, go ahead and go to youtube.com/watch $V equals K7G ZHKSK9SW. Watch it, watch the whole thing. You'll see a lot of them. So yeah, those are my answers. I guess I'm an intelligent atheist now.